When one hears the name Rothschild, two things spring to mind. The hundreds, if not thousands, of conspiracy theories floating around them, and of course, the colossal old world wealth they seem to possess. While we can't be too sure about the accuracy of these theories, there's one thing about the Rothschild family that's certain and unarguable: the incredible wealth and power that this once humble German family appears to hold. A clan of 5 sons and their father, the Rothschild family once owned the world's most extensive private fortune during the 19th century. Known as the most influential banking dynasty in the world, the family once possessed more than half of the world's wealth. Their fortune was so great that they funded both the Allied and Axis powers during World War II. Over the years, however, the family's wealth has supposedly decreased. However, even if that's true, they are still considered to be the wealthiest family in Europe, with a stunning net worth ranging from $500 million to $1 trillion. Though, if we go by some conspiracy theories, the controversial family's actual wealth could be around a staggering $500 trillion. These are but speculations, so we can't be 100% certain. The family began making successful investments in the 18th and 19th centuries, setting them up for generations to come. They went from living in the slums of Frankfurt to today owning 1,800 properties around Europe, over 55 luxury ships, 10 private aircrafts, 13 luxury hotels, and a large cash hoard of over $70 billion, stored and protected within the banks owned by the banks. Yes, that's right, there's a reason they are called the most influential banking family. They pretty much have their central banks established in almost every country of the world. The Rothschild family has therefore earned its place in the world as one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest families alive. As a result, it should come as no surprise that the Rothschild are living their finest and most spectacular lives. Welcome to the ultra-luxurious billionaire lifestyle of the Rothschild family. Rothschild family's most expensive assets. They are living examples of generational old world wealth. The family has interest and businesses in the oil and gas industry, mining, wine, and real estate. Just this family's sizable real estate portfolio is enough to demonstrate the kind of wealth they possess. The family's enviable real estate portfolio is worth $36 billion. Among one of the most affluent families, the Rothschild family owns around 1,800 estates in England, France, Germany, and other European countries. The total value of all of these properties exceeds $36 billion. Let's look at some of the prominent estates owned by the family. Gunnersbury Park, $132 million. When you are as wealthy as the Rothschilds, owning an entire park is a piece of cake, with just the tiniest fraction of their trillion-dollar wealth being used in purchasing this humongous estate. The first land and house estate in Great Britain to be owned by the Rothschild family, Gunnersbury Park, was purchased by merchant and financier Nathan Mayer Rothschild in 1835. He paid £70,000 for the vast expanse of land at the time. After building the opulent palace and decorating the surrounding scenery, today, 100 years later, the property's worth has skyrocketed to $132 million. If the park wasn't large enough already, the Rothschilds extended their acquisition even more by buying out the land to the north of the park. Today, the park features a rock garden, an 18th century temple, a boathouse, and an orangery that has been restored. Waddesdon Manor, $250 million. Located in the village of Waddesdon, in Buckinghamshire, the value of Rothschild's Waddesdon Manor is estimated to be $250 million. The manor, formerly a country mansion, has been passed down through 3 generations of the Rothschild family, each extending their estate to include some of the world's most rare and precious collections. It now serves as a museum with approximately 463,000 visitors per year. The residence is decorated with many 18th century portraits, tapestries, and furnishings, and there are huge gardens with a cast iron aviary full of exotic birds and endangered species. The mansion boasts some remarkable underground wine cellars that accommodate over 15,000 bottles of wine and currently house the world's most extraordinary collection of Rothschild wines. The Rothschild Foundation, chaired by Jacob Rothschild, currently serves as its caretaker. Chateau Mouton Rothschild, $150 to $200 million. Chateau Mouton Rothschild is one of the family's most expensive land purchases to date, with an estimated real estate value of over $200 million. It was the personal wine estate of Nathaniel de Rothschild in 1853, and its vineyards, which encompass over 222 acres of land, primarily yield Cabernet Sauvignon grapes. Villa Rothschild. This colossal estate, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, was owned by Baroness Beatrice de Rothschild, a member of the Rothschild banking dynasty. Adorned with works of art, antique furnitures, and a rare porcelain collection, the rose-colored home features 5 gardens, each with a different theme, which has been recognized as one of France's notable gardens by the French Ministry of Culture. Having donated the property to the Institut de France, this beautiful estate now serves as a tourist attraction. Some other expensive properties owned by the Rothschild family are Ascot House, Aston Clinton House, Champneys, Wigginton on the edge of Chiltern Hills Eythrop, Exbury Estate, Flint House, Halton House, Mentmore Towers, Shorncliffe Lodge, Tring Park Mansion, and Windmill Hill. Planet 9 Super Yacht, $102 million. Born into a superabundance of riches, the admirable Planet 9 Super Yacht is an investment made by Nat Rothschild, a newer generation Rothschild for more than just fun and enjoyment in his spare time. The vessel, which cost $102 million, was completed in 2018. It is 240 feet long and has luxurious facilities like a helipad, beach club, spa, and refueling facility. The interior, designed by only the best German interior designers, includes a 119-inch cinema screen, a panoramic observatory lounge, 2 elevators, and several elegant and contemporary relaxation areas offering great privacy. The super yacht can accommodate up to 16 guests in addition to the 26-member crew. Art collection, $2 billion. Authentic art is an investment that many of the rich and famous make, and the Rothschilds are no different. When it comes to the royal art and furniture, Europe's wealthiest family doesn't think twice about spending their fortunes. Their diverse art collection dates back to the 16th and 17th century and includes rare gold and silver artifacts and luxurious furniture. They currently own a whopping $2 billion worth of artifacts. The Rothschilds' art collection is so extensive and rare that it drew the attention of Nazi warlord Adolf Hitler, who purchased a couple of their paintings while in France during World War II. One of the world's finest private art galleries is now housed in the mansion of the legendary Rothschild family's Vienna branch. Expensive cars. It's a no-brainer that the ultra-rich Rothschild family owns some of the rarest and most expensive cars. If you love classic vintage cars, you will love their fabulous vehicle collection. Here are some of their most extravagant rides. Bugatti Type 55 Super Sport Roadster. This 1932 Bugatti Type 55 Super Sport Roadster was owned by Victor Rothschild, the 3rd Baron Rothschild, when he was only 22 years old and studying at Trinity College, Cambridge. The car is now worth close to $7 million. The vehicle is outfitted with a 4-speed manual transmission, 4-wheel cable-operated drum brakes, and an inline 8-cylinder supercharged engine. Bugatti Atlantic. The Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic is easily one of the world's rarest cars, with only 4 ever manufactured. This rare car was purchased by British politician Victor Rothschild in 1936, with the vehicle later receiving a supercharger at the factory. The car was sold in 1971, long after Rothschild had ended owning it, for roughly $59,000, a record amount for a vehicle at the time, and was eventually sold for $40 million in 2010. Hispano-Suiza J12. The Hispano-Suiza J12, another car in the Rothschild family collection, was built in France from 1931 to 1938 and had an extremely solid V12 engine. The J12 was one of the more expensive Hispano-Suiza models owned by Anthony Gustave de Rothschild in 1934 and was preferred by Anthony's wife, Yvonne. The automobile had a top speed of 108 miles per hour, nearly as fast as some fighter planes of the time. Hispano-Suiza K6. Anthony Gustave had the magnificent 9.5-liter 12-cylinder Hispano-Suiza K6 type, which was introduced in 1931 and originated in Spain. Gustave de Rothschild loved expensive cars, and his limo had a teardrop-shaped closed passenger compartment with a top speed of 88 miles per hour. The automobiles, which had a V12 engine, cost roughly $24,000 in 1953 and are now worth nearly $360,000. Mines owned by the wealthy Rothschild. Glencore Mining, $127.5 billion. The Rothschild family controls not one but 2 mining businesses. Nathaniel Rothschild purchased $40 million in Glenmore convertible bonds in 2009. Today, the Glencore Mining Company is worth $127.5 billion, worth more than the net worth of Facebook creator Mark Zuckerberg, who is worth $126 billion. one of the largest employers in Australia, with 31 mining agencies operating in Australia alone. They are the world's rulers on many levels. For nearly 200 years, the Rothschilds have controlled critical financial operations worldwide, gaining significant sway over governments. The family is now relatively unknown, with only a few descendants visible in public. These descendants are mostly renowned as some of Europe's wealthiest individuals and owners of some of Europe's largest financial brokerage businesses. Some reputable financial journalists have reported that the entire family now operates as a shadow organization, owning a significant share in nearly every multinational bank. They think the family possesses over 30% of all big banks combined.